Welcome back. Our next guest had a career in fashion design, even owning her own label, but at some point she knew that wasn't right for her anymore.
That's right, and today Bree Seeley is an author, a speaker, and a life coach. Her book is called Permission to Leap, to help you turn your ideas for your life into everyday reality. Welcome to the Morning Blend.
Hi, thanks.
This is so cool. So we're like quizzing you during the break about this fashion label.
During this whole interview before the
Yeah, because I'm just fascinated by your story. You had what I would call a very successful label. You dressed some celebrities, you were on TV shows. Talk a little bit about that, and then when you knew this was not the right path for you.
So my grandma taught me how to sew when I was like 5, and graduated from North Dakota State with a fashion degree, went to Italy, got a master's, like everything was pointing in all the directions, moved down to LA with the brand. Like I said, dressed Toni Braxton, I was on the cover of Apparel News, all these great things, and at some point, I'd kind of always said, if fashion stops becoming fun, I'm out.
That's a good way to clarify it for your life.
I mean, it's fashion's supposed to be fun, right? And yes, there's a business aspect to it, but I felt like I was running on a hamster wheel, and it just stopped feeling good. And I'm very led by, Joseph Campbell talks a lot about follow your bliss. Yes. And if I'm not feeling good about something, I can't wake up every day and it doesn't fuel me anymore. So I let it go kind of overnight, so much so that I forgot to tell my mom, and she found out I was closing my brand on Facebook, and she's still very angry about it.
I'm sure. Sorry, Mom, right?
No, right. So you took that passion for fashion that you had and turned it into something different, where this book has kind of led you now. Tell us about the book.
Yeah, so I started coaching very soon after, and I didn't close my brand with the intention of coaching. I knew nothing. I was just like, oh, the only thing I know right now is to close my brand. And I did that, and then I had so much space open up and all this freedom open up that I realized that people had been reaching out to me for a year asking me to help them bring their dreams to life. And I started realizing, I was teaching my mom's college students how to use the cash register when I was little. And this is kind of something, I was in leadership in high school and college, and it's something that kind of has always been with me. And so I took the leap and started coaching people, and that spun into speaking, which spun into a best-selling book, and things have just kind of unfolded naturally, and I always say I'm just following the breadcrumbs.
Yeah, I think you really do. You walk the talk. You really do everything that you talk about in your book. You've done it all, so you believe it hardcore. And I think what a lot of people want to know is what stops us from taking that leap? I mean, I look at somebody like you and I say, you were so quick to say, I'm good, I'm done with it. It didn't bring me bliss anymore. It wasn't happiness.
Right.
So you were able to let that go. What is it that halts others like me or other people out there watching from saying, I'm just not ready, I can't do it? Is it just fear? What is it?
So a lot of it is that our brains are conditioned to want to know.
Yeah.
And anything that we don't know, anything that we can't touch, is scary, and our brains just automatically categorize things. And a lot of it has changed with our evolution, but our brains are still programmed to understand that the unknown is scary.
Right.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
we want concrete.
Making change. People have a hard time making that change. They stay in their comfort zone.
Yeah.
Was it fearful for you? Did you lament over your decision, or was it real easy for you?
It was very easy for me. A lot of my biggest pivots and changes in life have come through meditation, and when stuff comes to me in that way, I just trust it. Yeah. And I don't question it, and I just move forward with it. That's how the book came to me, was in meditation. And so that's kind of how I'm best guided, but a lot of people have a really hard time with that.
So what's the first step that someone can take to create the life that they want to live?
So I always say the first step is commitment. So you have to decide that you're going to do it. And for me, I'm a burn the boat kind of person. So I'm like, I get to the island, I have to burn all of the boats to make sure that there is no going back.
Yeah.
That doesn't work for everyone.
There's no escape route at all.
Yeah, that doesn't work for everyone. Some people need a boat. They need a little bit of a safety net. So you have to know yourself well enough, but like you have to commit. Because if you're not committed, then you're always going to go back, right? So I always say commit and then take little steps every day. So a lot of people think that leaps are like this massive, monumentous thing.
Right, quitting your job and moving.
But you don't have to quit your job tomorrow. You could take 2 steps today that just like get you a little bit closer, and 2 steps tomorrow that get you a little bit closer. And little by little, I always ask people, how do you eat an elephant?
One bite at a time.
One bite at a time. You don't have to eat the entire elephant in one sitting, right? So you could make a plan of like, okay, I want to quit my job, or I want to move to a new city within a year.
Yeah.
So what do I need to do today? And so then you start just taking all the little bites day after day, and those compound to help you reach the big thing you want to get to.
And kind of suppress that fear and those doubts every step of the way. So what do you say to someone who says, okay, that sounds great for you, but I'm just too afraid. I want to take this leap, but I'm just too afraid.
There are ways to ease into it, and that's what I love about this bite-sized thing, right? So if you look at, say, quitting your job or leaving your city tomorrow, your brain is going to go into massive fight or flight mode. It's so far out of your comfort zone, you're not going to do anything about it. But if you start to maybe, pull up an apartment search listing and just start looking, right? So I'm in the process of moving to New York. I don't know when it's happening. It might happen this fall, it might happen this spring, but I've already started looking at apartments.
Yeah.
Are they apartments I'm going to move into? Probably not.
Not in New York, because it's only within like a 2-week window.
Right? But it's like, it's building that momentum and taking those steps and just little things every single day. And eventually what happens is your brain starts getting accustomed to this thing being the normal.
Right.
You essentially normalize this big idea, and your brain doesn't see it as scary and unknown and prevent you from going there.
I love it. You like desensitize the fear so you can just make that leap of faith. Here's how you can get a copy of Bree Seely's book. You can go to her website. It's breeseely.com to get your copy of Permission to Leap. Thank you so much for being here.
Great information.
Yeah, appreciate it.